Welcome back. We are talking today about how success isn't just about money. Now, that might be easy to say, but it's a lot harder to not think that way. We are going to discuss this topic because this is something that often incites a lot of debate. It's a topic that is shrouded in mystery. It is surrounded by misunderstanding. The word success. Many of us are taught from the time we're little that success is synonymous with money, even if it's not on purpose. People who have money are successful. People who don't are unsuccessful. The media, our culture, even sometimes our families, and I'm not blaming any of those. I'm just saying that those are things that people want to see. They want to watch. They want to watch people who have things they don't have. They want to watch people having experiences they've never experienced. They want to watch people doing things that are their dreams that they haven't achieved yet. So what happens is a lot of those things do take money. And so we end up getting this message from all of these different places that imprint this belief onto our minds until it is so palpable, it almost feels like we can touch it. We all have a purpose. We have a reason we are here. There are lives that you need to touch. There are contributions you need to make. And there is a legacy that you need to leave behind you when you go. Your assignment is not my assignment. They're different. What will contribute the most to the world and to the people you interact with is not the same for me as it is for you. You have something very special about you, and I have something very special about me. I know it, and I know that you know it. You want to know how I know it? I know it because I've worked with hundreds of thousands of people all over the world, and many of those people I get to talk to individually. I get to talk to in small groups. And I will tell you, I have not come across one person yet who hasn't had something unique and special to contribute that they would contribute in a different way than anyone else. Now, let me ask you a question. If you become a famous singer and you make millions and millions of dollars, would you say that you were successful? Most people would say yes. I would say, well, that depends. If what you were meant to do is author books and contribute knowledge, and that was a gift and a legacy that you were meant to leave, and you become a famous singer, are you successful? I would say no, that's not successful because you are not contributing. You are not fulfilling the assignment that you were meant to contribute. And I don't believe that everyone's assignment is to make a lot of money. I do believe that some people's assignment is to make a lot of money, and then they are now stewards to figure out exactly what they're supposed to do with this money that they made, and they have contributions to make because of the gifts they have that allow them to create this income. But it's very important that you don't associate success with money, because the truth is that that equation that we have come to accept, that success equals money, is a misleading one. The idea sells us short and it stunts our personal growth. It limits our definition of what it means to truly be successful in life. Today, we are going on a journey together to understand the truth of what success looks like so that we can challenge this stereotype and redefine the metrics of what achievement really means. And to that end, I'm going to give you 5 C's. The first C is compassion. Success isn't solitary. It's about the relationships you build and nurture. It doesn't matter if it's your family, if it's your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors. The bonds you form with people are invaluable. And those connections can offer more fulfillment than any amount in your bank account. How do I know this? Because I've been in both situations where I have absolutely no money and I have a very, very lot of money. And I know money is not fulfilling. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And it's fun to be able to go do fun things that money can allow you to do. But it gets to a point where you can buy whatever you want. And you go to the store and you can get anything. You can get any car you want. You can go on any vacation you want. And all of a sudden you start realizing it's not what brings fulfillment. It sure is fun. It's fun to do those things with other people. But the relationships are what is more important. They bring more success into your life. When you have relationships that matter, that you can work on and create bonds and grow closer and learn how to be a better person. The second C is compassion. Compassion isn't about money. It's about empathy. It's about understanding. It's about offering kindness in a world that can sometimes seem consumed by self-interest. It's about extending a hand to help other people rise up, not trampling them underfoot on your way to the top. True success is measured by the lives we touch and the lives that we help inspire and lift, not the wealth we accumulate. The third C is creativity. This isn't a financial asset. This is a spark that lights up the world. This is something that we use to express our unique selves. It's about using your gifts to bring new ideas, new perspectives, and solutions into the world. Solutions someone else would never have thought of, because you will think of solutions for your niche in a combination of ways that has never been put together before. And even sometimes it's about delivering that message in the way that you would deliver it. I know people who do training courses or who are doing coaching programs where, for example, I have a friend who does a coaching program. Well, there are lots of people. There are millions of people out there who do coaching programs, and they are amazing. They are wonderful. They are helping people. But guess what? This friend of mine, she finds the people who hear her voice. Her voice is the one that they can hear. Her voice is the one that they understand, that touches their hearts in the way they need to be touched. Whether it's a product that you sell, if you sell a service, if you sell information, it doesn't matter what it is. And it doesn't matter whether it's in your business or in your personal life. It doesn't matter if it's with your health. Every part of what you're doing, your health, your wealth, and your relationships, we create solutions using the creativity and the gifts that we were given. To be successful means to truly unleash that creativity and contribute in a way that only you can. You're the only one who can do it like you. We came to this world to fulfill our assignment, and we don't all have the same one. So stop trying to be like someone else. Stop trying to fulfill the assignment that someone else is already in the middle of doing. That doesn't mean you can't do the same niche. What it means is you do it in your way. The fourth C is contentment. More money doesn't often, no. The fourth C is contentment. More money does not mean more happiness. The richest people in the world can still feel empty, while those with less overflow with joy. How many of you have ever been to a up and coming economy in the world, a place where their economy may be struggling, but they are some of the happiest people in the world? I've seen that. It's because your character defines who you are and how you treat other people. And no amount of money can buy good character. In fact, you want to know what I found? Is that money is like pouring gasoline on your character. If you're already greedy and selfish and it's all about you, guess what? You have a lot of money and all of a sudden it's going to become even more like that. If you are kind and giving and loving and you want to serve other people, when you have more money, guess what? You end up doing more of that, and you can do it in bigger ways. And the fifth C is character. Character is the moral compass that guides us through our entire journey that we call life. It's about having integrity even when nobody's watching. It's about defining who you are and how you treat other people. No amount of money can buy good character, but it can certainly be a marker of true success. A perfect example of this is a man by the name of Bob Buford. He is a highly successful television executive. Bob led a life of what many people would call success. His life was one that a lot of people would envy. His company was a leading player in the industry, and he had the trappings of a materially prosperous life. But Bob underwent a deeply personal tragedy, and his understanding of what success means underwent a massive change. He lost his son, Ross, who he loved very much. And with the pain of his loss, Bob began to reassess his life and the meaning of success. He realized that the wealth that he had amassed and the prestige, and the prestige he had earned in the corporate world, Bob felt compelled to make a change. He found himself at what he later himself calls his halftime, the midpoint of one's life where you assess your first half and then you decide what you want to do with the second half. Bob decided that he wanted to transition from a life of monetary success to a life of significance. He moved away from a money-centric life to one of generosity and contribution. He founded what he calls the Halftime Institute, and it has a mission to inspire others to invest their skills and their resources into things that matter, into making a real difference in the world. He devoted the rest of his life to helping other people navigate their halftime. And guess what's interesting? When you use the skills required for good business and you care more about other people than you care about yourself, financial success always will follow, always. But not necessarily because that's what you're seeking. But even in the scriptures, it says, if you seek riches to do good, then I will bless you with riches and you will do good with them because that was your desire. And in his later years, Buford's life was characterized not by the increase in his wealth, but by the lives he was able to touch, the people he was able to help, and the societal change he inspired. Bob's journey is a powerful example, and I could pick millions from people who do this with their lives. But he is an example of how one man's change of heart led to a life with greater meaning and greater satisfaction. And his legacy isn't his wealth or his business achievements, but the message of a life lived for other people. It's the testament. It's the testament of a man who found true success in the depth of his compassion, in the strength of his character, and in the impact of his connections. That is the message I want to leave with you today. True success is about more than financial gain. It's about leading a life of significance, a life that reflects our deepest values and contributes to a world that is greater than we are. And just as Bob Buford discovered what he did, you can make that discovery and make your own transformation. It is never too late to redefine your success. And so I am challenging and inviting each and every one of you here today, as well as those listening around the world, let's redefine success. Let's not allow it to be an elusive concept measured by material wealth. Instead, let's measure it by the love we show, by the lives we touch, the connections we form, the character we build within ourselves. I implore you, let's change this narrative together. We can change the narrative on the internet. We can change the narrative in the way people interact with each other, in the way people who disagree with each other behave. Let's redefine success for ourselves, for our children, and for the generations that are coming after us. Let's inspire them with stories of compassion, creativity, contentment, character, and connections. This is not really a plea. It's a promise. A promise that if we will broaden our definition of what success means, we won't just change our lives. We'll change our world. We can build a society that values the strength of character over the strength of one's bank account. We can build a society that values the impact of creativity over the magnitude of one's portfolio. We can foster a world where the truest mark of success is how much we have grown, how much we have given, and how much we have shared. Now, I'm not saying money isn't important. It's a tool. It's a resource that can be used to affect change, to provide, to give back. But it is not the sole determinant of success. It does not define our worth. Our worth is intrinsic, immeasurable, and invincible. Today, I am inviting you to take the first step towards this paradigm shift because we can do this together. I invite you to look within and ask yourself, what does success really mean to me? Is it just about the dollars in your bank account? Is that how you've been measuring it? Is it about the zeros on your paycheck? Or is it about the lives you've touched? Is it about the connections you've made? And here's my promise to you. The moment you start to redefine success, the moment you start to value compassion over cash, and here's my promise to you. The moment you start to redefine success, the moment you start to value compassion over cash, creativity over capital, contentment over credit, character over currency, and connections over coins, you will find a richer, a deeper, and infinitely more fulfilling life waiting for you. This is not just about personal growth. It's about societal evolution. It's about shifting our world towards a future where the true measure of success lies in the substance of what is in our souls rather than the size of our wallets. I believe we can do this, but we cannot do it alone. We will have to do this together. I believe we can redefine success, not just for ourselves, but for our children, for our grandchildren, and for generations to come. I believe we can do this, but we can't do it alone. We have to do this together. I believe that we can redefine success, not just for ourselves, but for our children, for our grandchildren, and for the generations who have not even been born yet. And in doing so, we won't just be creating better lives. We'll be creating a better world. Don't just think different, be different.